bring them back on the program. Can you? The
Yes,
crowd
sir.
loves you, man.
Yeah,
Hey, there you go. How you doing? How you doing?
Good,
Randy?
good. Hey, what jersey you wearing there, Chief? Is that
This is
Palomalu?
Palomalu, number 43.
Oh, man, I was just talking college ball. Boy, he was great in college. He was even better in the NFL, former Defensive Player of the Year. I was just asking you all, you guys are from Chicago, Roy, so you go back pretty far. Being you pretty close age, you're probably a few years older than me. You remember the 85 Bears. You're a Chicago native. Why do you like the Steelers over the Bears?
Well, the Steelers was a favorite of mine since 1979
Okay.
when we had the Mean Joe Green and Terry Bradshaw, John Stallworth. It was an epic team that was put together at that time. So they were doing great catches, great running, great
Yeah.
quarterbacking, and the rivalries with the Cowboys, and then the Houston Oilers gave us
The
a
immaculate reception, that game.
yeah, yes, sir.
That's
that
before
sold
my
me for
time, but I'm
years.
a
So
football historian, brother.
yes, sir.
Oh man.
So that gave me my input to football from then on, and I just kept following.
Okay. Now, did your dad like the Steelers?
No, he was more like a Chicago White Sox fan.
He didn't really follow. Okay. So you
Yes,
didn't follow the great Walter Payton in the late 70s?
yes. So the Bears was the original, and then when I seen the colors and those immaculate catches and the steel curtain, that bought me as a kid. So I've been following ever since.
Right, right. It's real nostalgia. You know, when I was a kid growing up here in Nashville, although I've lived in New York and everywhere else, the Dallas Cowboys were on every single week. And I love
Yes,
the Cowboys because the nostalgia of the 92 Cowboys. They won the Super Bowl. Then they won it again. They had the Michael Irvin, Jimmy Johnson, big personality. So you kind of get that. You used to that winning flavor as a kid, and you get kind
yeah,
of grow to that team. So I get where you're coming from.
yes, and that's exactly what it was, man.
Man, okay. Now this your cousin Ed. Now it's a
Yeah,
funny thing. You guys are a big rival. I've talked to you guys out in the parking lot. You're
yeah,
a Ravens fan, but
for
you're
sure.
also a Chicago native. Now, what is your story there, Ed, for the audience?
So yeah, I love the Bears because it's my hometown, but it's hard going for them with the front office problem. So since the Ravens defense was so good, I know I was little when I played safety, like when I started playing AAU football. So that Ed Reed was my favorite safety. So yeah, that brought me in with the Ravens.
So, did you tell me you're 25, right?
Yep,
So you're going
25.
back. You like the Ed Reed. We're talking 2012,
Yep,
2013,
like when we won it for Ray Lewis, like the year after he retired. That
right
year
after he
we had
retired.
Terrell Suggs, Kerry
Yeah.
Williams, Ellerby, the linebackers. Yeah, that team
Oh man. See, that's the thing, folks. I mean, that people go with the winner, people go with somebody that they can relate to. So you played safety and you wanted to emulate Ed Reed.
for sure.
oh
Man,
yeah, that's nice.
did you
Yes, yes,
did you
yes.
ever score a touchdown as a like a
I
pick
did.
six?
What's crazy? Recently, I was just playing in a flag football league, and I got a interception return. Probably like 2 years ago, or
Yeah.
a year and a half maybe.
One of my favorite players, my dad and myself, I mean, we played fantasy big time.
Yeah,
And the thing between us, we would always talk about taking that Raven defense. We're going back 25 years, 20 years to when
2005.
Ray Lewis was in his prime. That defense
2005.
started then just before a few years later. Then you had Ed Reed get drafted, and they stayed consistent year in and year out. You can ask those Patriot players. You can ask all those Steeler teams and whatnot. They're the most consistent week in and week out team, and that was the era of the safety. You've got the Palomalu jersey on,
Yeah,
Roy, and then you got Ed Reed. Those are two of the greatest safeties of all time, and they played each other twice a year. I mean,
Yeah.
that's usually not a glamorous position. I mean, you got guys like Ronnie Lott going back to the 80s and whatnot. You've
Ooh.
had Steve Atwater with
Yeah, that number 42, Ronnie Lott was a
but
beast.
he's
How long did
bad,
he?
wouldn't he?
How old was he when he was playing last years of playing? How old was he?
I
I'm
don't
not.
know. He was up there, but Ronnie Lott was a Hall of Famer. Some say he's the greatest safety of all time. But I remember Bill Belichick. In one of those NFL films
Yeah.
things where he was wired for sound. He went up to Ed Reed and he says, "You're the greatest safety I've ever coached against." And he used to be the defensive coordinator for the Giants in the 80s. And of course, the Giants played the 49ers in the 80s. They beat them in an NFC championship game in 86. They won when the 86 Giants was a great team. So he's saying Ed Reed was better than Ronnie Lott, essentially, is what Bill Belichick was saying. But you got that Polamalu. I've seen Polamalu win the game by himself in one of those Ravens-Steelers rivalries. Do you remember that game?
Yeah, I seen him flying all over the place for
Yeah.
interceptions and everything. So
Remember, I think it might have been Joe Flacco where he hit Flacco and caused the fumble, picked the fumble up. You probably remember that game too.
That's an iconic. That's an iconic moment. Like if they always show that when they show a Troy Polamalu highlight clip. That's always in a.
Oh yeah. So yeah, Robert. So yeah, it's just been a lifelong thing. We still Bears fans. We still root for them, but there's some ups and downs there. But
You
we
just
got to
like
hang
those
in there.
great organizations, huh?
Yeah,
They're consistent. Yeah, I hear you, man. I hear you. So
but
you were telling me, huh?
I know we can't win. Cousin Ed said we can't win with the field goals. What do you think about that? You think that's Pittsburgh football where the field goals make a difference?
Yeah. I was just talking about that game yesterday. 6 field goals for Boswell against the Ravens. And of course, the Steelers do get the win. They do get the win. The teams are so familiar with each other. You do have the fact that Russell Wilson, they're paying this guy peanuts. They're paying him peanuts. He is in his mid-30s. He's still getting a feel for this offense. He's only got, 4 games as a starter. Remember, they played Justin Fields, which I said that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
Once Russell Wilson gets healthy, I'd say go ahead and put him in there. We know he's more of a capable passer at this point in his career than a guy like a Justin Fields. As far as doing the field goals, they're still going to have to develop more. They've got Mike Williams. They got him in a trade from the Jets. Firemouth is a great player. Pickens is an up-and-coming player. The line's blocking good. I expect them to score more, but they're not going to be a, air quote, juggernaut. They're not going to be the Chiefs or the Bills offensively, but, they've got former Raven, Patrick Queen there. They're really well put together, this Steelers team. That being said, they do got to play tomorrow night, and I think Mike Tomlin's like 0-4 or something like that on Thursday Night Football, though. So you got to be careful, Roy. You may be the Ravens be right back on your heels come Friday. What do you think about that?
Just think about that.
I got the Browns with the upset, man.
He got the Browns.
I forgot they are playing Cleveland, ain't they? You got to watch that Cleveland team. Hey, they beat your Ravens there the other day, Ed. They're just like they're a bugaboo, man.
Because Lamar always got to have a bad game, a game where he forgets how to play. I don't know what'd be wrong with him.
Yeah. That's my next question, Roy or Ed. What is your thought with this Ravens team? What did they need to do to get over the top? They got to the AFC Championship game last year, man.
Yeah, I feel like we should have got a better receiver. Like,
okay,
Deontay Johnson, a cool pickup, but I don't think it's really a receiver that fit Lamar Jackson play style, because the way he play is like, it's not planned. Like, if you know what I mean, like, it's not like he could drop back. Okay, he looking at his seams. I mean, he looking at his progressions and going here to here. Nah, it could break down. He could get out the pocket, and so I don't think it's a lot of receivers that because they might do a great route and they open over here, but he just
Yeah.
scrambled this way. So like, I feel like he need more like agile receivers, like like Zay Flowers. Like Deontay Johnson, cool, but I don't think that was the piece.
Okay.
And I feel like we do need a third down receiver. Like a Mike Williams would have been great. Somebody we could throw the ball
Okay.
up to. Besides, like our tight ends been our only like big threat receivers. Like we ain't had no big receivers.
You mean like a deep threat guy?
Not even deep. I feel like Zay Flowers are a deep threat, but like okay,
route runner.
It's 3rd and 7, and we at the goal line. Somebody you could just throw the ball up to, hiking and just throw it up to him. I don't think we ever had that for real.
Yeah,
Like a
go get
DJ
it.
Moore with Chicago.
Yeah, DJ Moore would be great.
Yeah.
What's
So
your
what do you
prediction
say?
on the game, Robert? What's your prediction on the Bears? On the Browns and Steelers tomorrow.
I'll have to look at it. I'll probably say, let's see, Winston's playing. Here's my knock on Tomlin. It's not all sugar and cupcake around here. You get straight shooting from here from Robert.
Yeah.
I mean, Sports Scope, I just cut it right down. Mike Tomlin's teams have a tendency, guys, to play down to the competition. They've lost when they're favored, okay? They have a tendency to lose. Now, they play it up big when they're underdogs. They were underdogs against the Ravens. I said, he'll play that up. I think
like
the Browns
been underdogs the whole season and sneaking out wins. They 8-2.
Yeah.
Like with Justin Fields, they was 3-2. And that
But
was
they
everybody
lost
was
to the
surprised.
Colts there.
Yeah.
They were they should have beat the Colts. I
They
think
got-
there's a very
that
good
was
chance.
that was an upset for me. It's
Yeah.
sort of like you said, they fall apart at times, and you play down to the other team's level when we're a much better team.
Yes.
We should just not fall out of focus and stay concentrated on the job at hand.
I think they're a good story this year. I like the reemergence of Russell Wilson. His career's gotten some got some life to it. We thought he was washed up. We know he's on his back end. Don't get me wrong. He's on the back end of his career.
Yeah.
You got Arthur Smith. He's former offensive coordinator for the Titans. Did a tremendous job with Ryan Tannehill a few years ago. Not good head coaching material, but then again, he didn't have a great quarterback to deal with in Atlanta. But he does exactly. Him and Russell Wilson work really, really well together. I got a feeling that's going to be a tight game, and Cleveland may very well upset them tomorrow. And then the Ravens, unfortunately, Ed, they got to play the Chargers, and they haven't had their bye week. I think they could be in trouble Sunday, too. What do you think of, or maybe Monday night? What do you think about that Charger-Raven matchup?
That's going to be a big game. I feel that's going to be a big game. That's going to really show us where we at, and what we need to work on. But I got us, of course. The Chargers, defense, Herbert be like the Chargers ain't showed me like they could, the other year, 2 years ago they started 6-0 and then lost their last 5 or something like that.
But they got Harbaugh though. This is gonna be Harbaugh versus Harbaugh.
Yeah, Harbaugh. Yeah, you see, we beat them last time in the Super Bowl.
They beat them in the Super Bowl.
We beat him last time. He got to get his get back, so they're gonna be hungry to get a win for sure. And Justin Herbert, like my second favorite quarterback. I say top 3 because I got Lamar Mahomes and then him. But so I'm gonna be a real fan of that game. But I got us on top still.
Okay, now that's a good point. They'll probably be favored. The Ravens. What's wrong with the Ravens defense? Why are they giving up so many big plays this year, man?
I feel like we lost a lot of key pieces. Well, people that we probably didn't think was key, like Patrick Queen. He was a major piece. Having 2 linebackers that could start on the field at all times, like they could start on any team in the league. Like we had both of them at the same time with Raekwon and him. Then we lost Geno Smith. He just led the league in interceptions last year. So I just think I don't think we filled in the spots for real. Besides running back, and our running game was never our problem. Like don't get me wrong, Derrick Henry is Derrick Henry. You always gonna get him if you got the chance, but I don't think that was our major problem. We just made something that we already was good at even better, and we focused in on the other stuff.
Yeah, that's. Do you see this team? So you saying they're going to add some defensive pieces? They need to add a couple pieces on that defense. Do you think they may need to get another coordinator, Ed? To kind of been a victim of their own success. Your coordinator is a head coach of Seattle now.
Yeah, we probably that could be a reason too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
I
But
believe
I really
so.
think it's the personnel though.
Yeah. Okay. It's more of a personnel thing. Do
And
you
fit, they
think
just
that?
everybody gotta find that fit together, the glue. Cause
Yeah.
I feel like this the newest team we done had in a minute. Like as far as like a lot of new pieces coming in playing roles people had.
Yeah.
Like I feel like this the most like
You think maybe they should trade one of those offensive pieces, like a Mark Andrews or somebody,
I was
perhaps?
just gonna say Mark Andrews if anybody because we got
Likely.
we got Likely Isaiah Likely and you see when Mark hurt it's like it's no difference and he
Yeah.
younger.
You know, I was telling the audience, I'm really surprised that they've replaced 3 offensive linemen, and they're still very competitive, the Ravens.
Yeah.
Often having the best offense in the league, man. Was you surprised by the emergence of Henry being this good at 31 years old with the Ravens?
No, I wasn't. I've been watching Derek
Oh, you
since he was in.
expected this level of success?
Yeah, cause like last year I don't feel like he played terrible given like the state of the Titans.
Yeah,
And
the
so
line's
just
terrible.
we made it to the AFC Championship. So like that just winning coaches, we just brought another winner. And I've been watching him since Bama. That's my
Yeah.
favorite team. So I've been knew he was gonna stay
Yeah, you
consistent
were
his
telling
whole
me that
career.
the other day, Roy, or Ed, that so you really like that Alabama tie that the Ravens have with all those Alabama
Yeah.
players?
Yeah, from Henry to Humphrey. A couple years ago we had I forget his name. He a newer Alabama player though. Like probably
Okay.
2 years ago he was a rookie. I think
Yeah,
Kool-Aid.
they've got so many, it's hard
Yeah.
to keep up with them. You know, Ozzie Newsome, your former general manager, he used to play for Alabama.
Yeah, I ain't know that.
Yeah, so
I didn't either.
tied in.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, and that's what they do. They just rack up those Alabama players. They like that toughness.
Alabama
Really
produced
good
pros.
organization.
The top
You know,
5 teams.
Yeah, SEC produced pros.
man. Yeah, Roquan Smith. Now he's injured. Do you think he's going to be back to play this Charger team? That's a big loss, man. If he don't play,
I mean, I'm hoping he do. If he don't, it's gonna be a little harder to get that W for sure. And then I feel like that'd be another problem with us. Every year somebody get hurt, like somebody. We ain't had a healthy year in a long time,
yeah.
and we
Well,
still be a top team. Like with the injuries, like it don't even, you know.
what do you
We're-
think that? Well, you were saying something earlier about Lamar Jackson. What
Yeah.
is the biggest improvement that you've seen, and what do you? That's one question. What's the biggest improvement you've seen since he's brought in this new offensive coordinator?
I feel like it's a balance. It's a
Okay.
better balance. Like, and then I feel like he was out of shape last year. Even though he won MVP, he looked quick on his feet this year. Like,
Yeah, he has lost a lot
he
of
already
weight.
at the
Yeah.
stats he had last year, and the season ain't nowhere near over.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah, I
What
feel
does
like
he
he's
need to
getting better
improve
at
on, Ed?
wait, what'd you say?
What do you think he needs to improve on, man?
Decision making and take less risks. Like low risk reward. That's what he need to do. Like some plays, like I get you trying to fight and get extra yards, but I think he fumbled way too much. Not even interceptions, but he fumbled way too
I
much
didn't
in
even
big.
notice that. Does he fumble a lot?
Yeah, like season by season, he fumbled a lot. Like he
Okay.
don't throw that many interceptions because he'll run if ain't nobody open. But he fumble in big games, big situations. Like it'll be 3rd and 7, he'll fumble or something like that, or we going for it on 4th down and he'll fumble. But
Yeah.
I feel like that's another thing he improved though.
Yeah.
Well, Robert, I got I had a friend of mine I called and talked to about the top 5 teams
Yeah.
that I think might go to the Super Bowl, and
Who's that?
he said Detroit is one. That's his favorite team,
Yeah.
Detroit, Kansas City, the Bills, Philly, and the Vikings. What is your take on it?
Well,
But he also said number 6, which he said is the Steelers, and I was
he
hoping
will make
that
you
was
feel
supposed to
good.
say we was number 1. But what's your
Yeah,
take on
let me
those?
look at my list and check it twice the way Santa Claus will do it, right?
Yes, sir.
I got it right here, just in case you guys were curious about that. Let me go up here and let's see. Teams that can go. These are teams that are in the Super Bowl bubble. Detroit, they're the first time they've been a favorite in the history of their franchise. They're the favorite to win the Super Bowl. Kansas City, obviously, you got the pass rush there. You got the pressure over the middle. Andy Reid, plus they're going to get Isaiah Pacheco back this week at running back. They could potentially three-peat. That's never been done. They're on the Super Bowl bubble. Buffalo Bills, best record since 1992, guys. They got a 4.5 game lead in the AFC East. They're getting healthy on defense. They're supposed to get their star linebacker back, Matt Milano, back. They're definitely in it. Philadelphia getting Saquon Barkley. He's just behind Derrick Henry in rushing. Their defense really well put together. They've hit on 2 draft picks, guys. Keon Mitchell and what's that other guy's name? He had his last name's like Gray Poupon or something. But very good, though. Very good cornerback play. Very good defensive coordinator there. Philadelphia's finally found an identity, 8-2. They're in the Super Bowl bubble. And, of course, yes, Pittsburgh. Pittsburgh's in that bubble right now. I don't know if that can change per se. But you got the pass rush. You got the quarterback play. You haven't had the quarterback play. You had guys like Mason Rudolph and Ben Roethlisberger at the end of their careers. Yeah. And, of course, Kenny Pickett was too inconsistent there. So those are the 5 right now. Now, of course, the Ravens, with the right break, the Ravens can get there. I don't know about Minnesota. I don't know about Green Bay, folks. I think the 49ers are too banged up. Minnesota, they got a weak secondary. They give up big plays, too. Get a good coordinator, but they lack personnel per se. Brian Flores has done wonders with less at Minnesota. Remember that great start they got off to. Darnold's starting to show some old tendencies. Not sure if that's going to last throughout the season. We still have to remains to be seen about Green Bay. But those 5, that's my power 5 this week. That can change. There's always injuries, guys. We don't know what can happen. But let me say this about the Ravens. They have a late bye week. They got to play the Chargers next week. They got to play the Eagles the week after that. They could be 7-6, but they got that late bye week. There's a chance they can run the table after that. Right. A good team like that coming off a bye week have those rested legs and kind of like the Tampa Bay Bucks did with their late bye week when they had Tom Brady in 2020, ran the table, go on and win the Super Bowl. So I'm not putting the Ravens out. I just want to see how they look after that bye week. They got to do something about giving up those big plays. But they're still one of the top run defenses in the league, and they got one of the best offenses in the league. Though they're a team to be reckoned with right now. Everybody else, I'm just not sure about Houston. 49ers, like I said, falling apart. I don't trust Geno Smith with Seattle. I don't trust anybody else in the AFC East. I mean, they're dreadful, and the Titans have 0.5% chance of making the playoffs. I read that today.
I know you want to wrap it up, Robert, but I got another serious question. A duel. We was talking about a duel of running backs.
Yeah.
Which out of the teams, which duel of the 2 running backs, might put up some numbers?
Are you talking about catching and rushing?
What is that we were talking about? Just running the ball like who was that? Number 30 we got?
Yes, we got the best primary backup running backs.
The best backup running backs?
Yeah, starter and backup together.
Starter and backup.
Best dual running back systems. How about David Montgomery and Jamar Gibbs up in Detroit? Yeah. That may be my best. Detroit's killing teams, guys.
Yeah, they are.
55 points the other night. I think George Mason, and towards the second half of these last 7-8 games, George Mason and Christian McCaffrey, that's a group you're not hearing about. But McCaffrey's healthy now, guys.
Yeah.
That's a good little tandem that nobody's really kept talking about. I like that Mitchell guy in Baltimore, and I like Derrick Henry. He's killing it. But check this out. He's not a running back, but I like the Eagles right now, Saquon and Jalen Hurts. These guys are splitting touchdowns.
Yeah.
Hurts run 2 touchdowns in. Saquon run 2 touchdowns in. If you're playing anytime touchdown on like a FanDuel, that's kind of, even though Hurts is technically not a running back. Let me throw another one. Raheem, since they're healthy now, Devon Achane and Raheem Mostert out of Miami, not getting a lot of play there because they've been on the losing streak, but now Tua's healthy. Those guys are kind of coming up in the world as well.
Okay. We got you.
Pulling it off the top of my head, guys.
Okay.
Anything else that you need to plug, Roy? Did you want to plug one of your friends or something or whatever? You got about a minute or so.
Yeah, we had his name Chalky, and he has plenty information on how this might turn out.
Yeah.
As far as what they call that, the witching hour, when wins become losses and losses become wins.
Hey, that's my favorite. That's NFL Red Zone when you get down to the last 2 minutes of the game.
Yeah.
That's my best Sundays right there, guys. That's a holiday for me.
Oh yeah. So maybe we can match up after the game. We'll check out the game that's going to happen tomorrow between the Browns and the Steelers.
Yeah.
I got us by 24-12.
Okay. Well, they should win. They're favored.
Yeah, I got 24-12 out the door.
24-23 Browns with the upset. Tomlin plays down to the competition again. What do you got, Ed?
27-13 Browns.
Hey, everybody, let's have it for Roy and Ed. Thanks, guys, for coming on.
Yes,
have
sir.
a good night.
Appreciate you.
See you guys.